I'm a developer on the CXM team. So get my notes. And really, I just wanted to give a bit of an update as to what the CXM team have been up to since you last saw us here, really, and then just briefly look at what we're going to be up to in the future as well. So first off, what's new? So performance, obviously we touched on performance earlier, but we realise how important, we know how important performance is to our users, especially to contact centre users, for example, who are on the phone to your customers all the time, day in, day out. So we're really focusing on targeting specific areas of CXM in order to really improve the performance. We're not only looking at optimising with code to make things faster, but we're looking at designing our way out of these performance bottlenecks as well. So really, first off, the new homepage is something we deployed a few months ago now, I think, and you've probably seen it when you've been logging into CXM. And what this new homepage enables is, well, firstly, faster login times, hopefully, and really to allow users to perform quick tasks such as creating person records or searching for case data in CXM when they don't necessarily need to see a list of cases and wait for that to load. And on that note as well, we have improved case load page times as well, case list page load times as well. So when you go onto the case list, you'll see those cases loaded in the background instead, which also enables you to navigate to different parts of the system. We've made similar changes to the timeline as well, which is it's going to be most noted on cases with a lot of timeline entries like messages or notes. So we've also optimized the case creation process. So for example, those guys in the contact centers who are clicking on the create case button, having to choose a case type and wait for the form to load, we've optimized that process so it's a lot faster now, so cases can be created much quicker. Moving on to integrations, we really overhauled the way case integrations work in CXM. We've essentially created a framework for allowing I've lost my words now. To allow greater flexibility in triggering integrations at any point in the workflow using the CXM rules engine. So for example, raising a road defect case with Pitney Bowes Confirm, or a environmental health case with Northgate Assure. Within that process, you might want to manually triage, you might want to add a step in that workflow to manually triage cases before they're pushed into that back office system. So this is just a quick look at how you create a mapping template for Confirm in this example. For our iDocs uniform integration, we recently introduced support for general pest and noise service request types. And in our next phase, we'll be introducing support for food and non-environmental health request types as well. This week, I think it was on Monday evening, I think someone mentioned that earlier, Monday evening, we deployed a new feature to our Pitney Bowes Confirm integration as well. What this will allow you to do is to push files directly from CXM into Confirm using Pitney Bowes' new Central Inquiries API. And this is great for back office staff users so they can access those files directly in Confirm. For Northgate Assure, you can raise worksheets and create and update assets from CXM as well. Okay, so in a similar vein to organizations, we've done a lot of work on addresses in CXM as well. Most notably would be our address finder integration. We've built a framework for you guys to use any web service or your own address finding service with CXM. So now you can essentially use any web service, any address service with CXM. And if you want to find any more information about the address finder, you can take a look in the integrations hub in CXM where there's a link to the specification. I think there's also a link to the specification on the support portal as well. And CXM will now refresh address data. So whenever you're creating a case and you're selecting an address, or maybe you're updating a person record, CXM will refetch that address data from the source, so single point or Esri locator hub, for example, and ensuring that the data is up to date in CXM. So this overcomes an issue where maybe Esri locator hub had updated some new addresses maybe, and that data wasn't being reflected in CXM. So you no longer have to ask us to refresh that data for you, which is, I think, a really good benefit for you. And so for our single point and Esri locator hub integrations, we've recently added support to exclude addresses using logical address statuses such as historical and provisional address statuses. So that will prevent those addresses appearing in the property list. You can add one or more of those address statuses again in the integration hub for that particular address integration. So finally, accessibility. We're continually improving accessibility in CXM. Not only to meet WCAG, I think I'm saying that right, WCAG 2.1 compliance, but also to ensure that our users have the best experience possible in CXM, regardless of their ability. So we're currently conducting a CXM-wide accessibility audit, system-wide accessibility audit, where we're testing every single user interface within CXM using a variety of accessibility tools and assistive technology, such as screen readers and speech recognition. We've also improved our testing process as well. So now every single new feature, or maybe when we modify a user interface in CXM, will be tested with a range of tools really, just to ensure compliance with WCAG 2.1. Because the Pulsar design system powers all of CXM's user interfaces, we continually benefit from the work that the Pulsar team does in creating accessible UI components. And so on that note, Pulsar are looking for volunteers as well to be part of our accessibility special interest group. So if you have any specific needs or expertise in regard to accessibility in your Jadu platform, so not only CXM but the whole platform, then please get in touch with Paul Stanton. So that's really just a bit of an update as to what we've been up to. Just want to quickly look at what the roadmap looks like. And every time I rehearse this, it sounds like a weather forecast, so I'm really sorry about that. Currently...
Well, as long as it's sunny.
Wow. So as we heard from Mike this morning, we're working away at the Amazon Lex integration, which is really exciting. And it's the first time I've seen his demo today, and I thought it was really impressive. So yeah, we're working away at that. And as I mentioned as well, performance improvements, and I think these guys said it this morning, it's a step-by-step process, and we're continually targeting areas in CXM. And as part of that, we're doing a lot of work preparing for our move to the AWS infrastructure as well. In the near term, there's a couple of focal points really. A lot of people have been asking us about reporting on data that's been captured within CXM. So we're looking at ways of tackling that by talking to you guys. But it's likely going to see us integrating with other software such as Microsoft Power BI, which I know is really popular with a lot of you guys as well. This is quite a specific one, but deleting a choice field option is a feature that's long overdue, and I know a lot of people have been asking for that, so we're really looking at tackling that as well. And more in the long term, we know just how important it is to engage with citizens through My Account, so we want to make that process as easy as possible for them, and as part of that, we're going to be looking at third-party sign-in solutions like social sign-in, for example. Finally, updating case types, and this is something that a lot of people have been talking about recently, and it's where you have your case type in live, but you're making a lot of changes in your UAT environment, and we want to investigate how we can make the process of getting that case type, that workflow, into your live environment in as seamless a way as possible. So yeah, watch that space for that. Yeah, that's it really. Thank you very much for listening, and if you have any questions, you can ask me or you can ask them.